All right. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Heliopsychosis podcast. This is your host, Vikas Raziv. Guys, welcome to the show. Yes, if you're watching us from YouTube and first time here, do hit that subscribe button. And yes, what an awesome show we have today. But this is the thing we had a idea to make this show. I hope this is working because we are using a different platform. Gene, are you there, brother?
I'm here, bro. Hey, everybody.
So,
What's up, brother?
yep, today we are celebrating 2 years of Heliopsychosis podcast, right? So we have an open mic today. All right. How are you, Gene, brother? 2 years,
Oh,
unbelievable, right? Time passes really fast.
oh, bro, I can't even imagine that all of these shows we did. We got like, bro, I think there's 90 shows, 85 shows on your YouTube, and they're not all there. You know, I just can't believe that it went so fast, brother. It's been such a great ride, guys. He froze up a little bit, bro. Yeah, we might be having a little bit of technical difficulties today,
Breaking
guys.
up. Uh, you're breaking up, brother.
I
The
couldn't hear you,
chat. Do you
bro.
hear us well?
You were breaking up too, bro. I'm not sure. I got the bubble around me, but I can't tell if I'm gonna cut the video.
Let's off the video for some time and maybe we try it again. We are please. That's why let's off the video.
Does that work, bro? Can you hear me? Vika. Bummer.
Or we are trying a new different streaming. Yeah, now I hear you. We are trying a different streaming, and it looks like it's. Yeah, I hear you, Gene. Now I hear you.
Cool. Yeah, I hear you too, bro.
Now I hear you.
Sorry, guys, in the comments. Robin's funny. Breaker 19. That's great.
Yeah, hello. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you hear us now? Do you hear me, Gene? Well,
I hear you good, bro. Coming in loud and clear.
all right. All right. Maybe we have to do audio for some time. Maybe till maybe the connection gets better. Right. So yeah,
Sure.
people. 2 years. 2 years is a long time, people. Yeah, and lots of stuff. Uh, a lot. Right. We went into so many different things, so many different people. We have to, for sure, we have to revisit everything. But hey, yeah, but anybody, if you want to join us, uh, they can jump in. The link is there on the top of the chat. Come and say hello. You don't have to do a video, you can do an audio like us, maybe the connection. So, yeah, Gene, go ahead, brother.
Oh, bro, where do we start, man? You want to start from day one, bro?
From day
Right?
one.
I yeah, I'll tell you guys my side of it. It goes like this. So, it was mid 2019 or so, and I was on a whole bunch of flat Earth pages, and Vika's name kept popping up all over the place. I started recognizing him, and we became friends, and we were admin and moderators on a couple different pages together, and next thing you know, um trailers and teasers for Flatten the Curve started coming out. And it took a while, bro. I don't know if you probably remember, but it took a while for me to put it together, who I was with and what's going on. And I was like, oh, that's this guy. That's his movie. I was like, oh, I was bugging out. The trailers were fantastic. And they're showing all the military guys and how the communications, weapons, and navigation don't work on a spinning ball. And it was just so fresh and exciting to see that coming out. And then something happened with the pages. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been if you ever seen, but some of these pages get kind of infiltrated by people and then taken over by admins and moderators from the owners of the page. They kick them out, and so that's what was going on with one or two of these pages that me and Vika were on together. And he was like, "Yo, bro, there's problems in these pages. If you want to come hang out with us, come hang out with us." And that was kind of how it started. And then the first time I went on the show, Heliopsychosis, was the first time you guys, Vika, that you had it, and someone was not available to come on. So Vika asked me to first. He asked me to monitor the chats, and I was like, "Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me! Absolutely, I love to do that." And and then when the guest was unable to show up, me, Rob, Flat Plane Earth, and Vika had the very first episode of Heliopsychosis, and it was a lot about Flatten the Curve and what was going on with it. And so that was the very very first introduction for me. And then, like, the first few months we had so many guests. Gutai J, God bless, God rest, I hope everybody and his family's doing well. um Mark, Kevin, Eddie. I haven't seen Harry in ages. Jumping around a little bit, bro, but
Rob Flynn, yeah, true man.
uh, yeah, Anonymous, Brett. How many people, bro? A lot of the guys from the documentary were coming on. It was a lot of fun dissecting the movie and really thoroughly going through their parts. Brett was on a few times. Eddie Allencar's been on. We're still hoping Billy Zig can get on as soon as he would love to have him on. I got some stuff from Australia. I think he's gonna love. I got
Oh
some.
yeah, Billy Zig, Billy brother. We are waiting from 3 years that we're gonna do a podcast together.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely, brother. A big shout out to our brother Matthew Regredio for that awesome super chat, brother. Thank
wow.
you.
Thank you very much, Matthew. That's too cool, bro.
Keeps inspiring, brother. All of us, all we are trying to do is, yeah, brother. Awesome. And this is the thing. This has been a long journey with the podcast, with the heliopsychosis. Brother, you can try now your video. It looks like it's not lagging now. Yeah. So, man, this was like, I remember the first podcast we were doing, it was Rob, you, and me, right?
Yeah.
And Rob was supposed was one of the co-host before. We all
Yeah.
knew what happened exactly, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Rob Flatplane Earth is there on Facebook. He's also one of the star of Flatten the Curve. He was one of our first co-hosts, and Gene was the next, right? And things, yeah. Rob is a really intelligent guy, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
we know what happened to him, right? What he got every one of us into, right? So yeah, we had some amazing conversation with him too. We would have liked that he would have stuck around with us, right, for the podcast.
I know,
but
man. I
but things
tried talking to him too, bro. I was like, bro, you just we're doing this here. You could do that later. You could throw it in once in a while. You know, and bro. Remember in the beginning we didn't have topics. We would just go up there and kind of free for
Yeah.
all. We're like, hey, what are we going to talk about today? And we just kind of go off. We go here, we go there, and then we would, we would have a topic, and we'd still keep going off, and and then we needed the captain, the pilot of the plane here, to keep reeling us in.
Oh, you remember how we started, how many different format we tried,
Yeah,
45-minute intense, 1.5 hour with different with breaks. We tried even 3 hours. Some of the podcasts were like we tried so many different format to get the right
yeah,
one, right?
yeah.
And we learned it was a journey, right? We you just don't born or manifest, right? Of doing a
Oh,
podcast, right?
yeah, bro.
A lot of digging, a lot of right, a lot of time that So yeah, we are still learning, in the truth, and also how to do this podcast, right? Different people have different styles. Everyone is doing a great job, right? So, and for us, right, before also we only used to do audio, right? Before we
Yeah.
just used to do audio and no video. So, and then maybe sometimes screen sharing.
You know what, man? I thought the video was going to be horrible for me. I was not looking forward to it. I knew it was coming too. We've talked about it. We were like, oh, we're gonna have to, We can't sit here with a picture forever, So I was just like, ugh, I don't want. But no, so I hope you guys like what I did too. This is all kind of staged.
Oh yeah, it looks awesome, man. Yeah, amazing background,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks.
Guys, tell us in the chat how if it's all right, the video and the audio.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Compass the earth with boundaries. Jolly man. I don't know how to scroll on my phone.
All right. One of the first podcasts we did was also this. It was only me, Gene, and Rob. Right. It was just three of us. It was just called Heliopsychosis podcast by Vika Razi live tonight. That was one of
Yeah.
the first one. And then the second one we had was there were few people in there.
Yeah, we had Fisherman in a Box, Lon, Rick
Exactly.
Lotek.
That was yeah, because that was right after the flatten the curve because he loved the flatten the curve and wanted to do a show. All right, looks like people hear and see us good, so that's great.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Dr. Frankenstein, what's up, brother?
Hey, Dr. Frankenstein, Queen M, Robin, Lee McIntosh, the Jolly Man, or brother Matthew, and who's there? All right, come on, guys, come and say hello to us. The link is there on the top. You don't need to do a video. You can do an audio only, no problem. Come and
Yeah,
share
guys,
with us.
come up. Tell us what your favorite episode was. Which one would you like to see more of too? Hey, if anybody can tell us what what topic did we have two shows about in a row? We had part one and part two. There was only one episode that was part two. If you can tell us, you get 10 points.
Exactly, and a lot of point together can get something, right? So
We're
yeah,
working
nice
on all kinds
question.
of things, guys. And you know what? We a lot of times one of us will end up saying, we really can. We could take this topic and go for another 3 hours. But we like to keep moving along, keep the train running. But that one topic we had part one and part two. I'll tell you at the end of the show if nobody guesses.
Let's see if somebody guessed that, right? And then after that, there were a few other interesting one, but exactly right after that was Heliopsychosis podcast, Rika Razi with guest ex USMC Airwing. That was our brother Gutai Jai,
Yeah.
right? You see, it was right. It's right in the beginning, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Got Kutai was real deep, man. That guy was. We lost a friggin' warrior soldier with that guy, man. God bless. You
Oh
know,
yeah, oh,
he's
yeah,
at
my
rest,
brother.
and hello to anyone in his family. I hope everybody's doing great.
Exactly. To
Yeah,
Krishna and everybody else, like
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and the contribution. So yeah, that was a great episode, right? He really expanded on some amazing things on that podcast.
Robin said her favorite was when we did "Were Rocks Alive" with Dan and Jen Sphinx about the
Oh
mud
yeah.
fossils. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really fun show. Both of them are great people.
Oh yeah, how Stephanie Campbell is also there. She's
Hi,
saying good
Steph.
Thai. Yeah,
How are
she also
you?
knew very well good Thai, right? So
Yeah.
your brother, and then we had right after good Thai, we had Ronald Farnham. That was
Ah,
great. Also, the episode,
that guy's.
the whole thing,
Yeah.
the whole thing into Admiralty law and the birth certificate and all these laws
Yeah.
going around those laws. Right, that was an amazing podcast. Right.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you know who Ronald Farnham is, he's a guy he kind of deflected out of Hollywood when he realized how many things were really seriously wrong, and he got further into like tax codes and all that kind of stuff. But he has a book called The Solution and Instruction Manual for Sovereignty and Freedom. And if you're interested in that, I bet you Vika can hook you up. I bet you could just go right there and find him yourself. But yeah, it's called the Solution and Instruction Manual for Sovereignty and Freedom. And it's interesting. It gives you a couple ways to do things differently if you're interested.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Even he's there on Rumble.
Mm.
Yeah, he's very good. More known on Rumble. He's so amazing stuff he's got. Yeah, check out that book. What Gene mentioned, because there can be a key for many things that is happening right now. To get all those papers right and screw the.
Yeah. Now just help yourself not to be taken so much advantage of. And he's accessible. He'll answer you back.
Oh yeah, he's accessible there. Yeah, and then we had, and right after that, amazing people, right? And right after that, we had Brett Freeman.
Oh man.
Oh, we all know who is
You
Brett Freeman.
you know who we missed before that though? Um oh Greg Garrett. Gregory Garrett was before that, I think, right? You cut out, bro. I can't hear you.
Could be, could be. No, I
Maybe.
muted. Yeah, I muted for a minute. Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in the list, but I'm trying to go by order. But till now, I didn't see. Right now, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, right
I
after
thought it was
Ronald.
before.
Right after Ron.
Okay. I could. Yeah. All right. I thought it was before, but Brett was
Cool.
great,
Maybe.
man. Brett explained so much stuff about engines and jet engines, how to build them, how they run, plane wings, the shape of them, what they do. Uh, Great stuff. That
Yeah,
guy
another
can.
star. Exactly, another star of Flatten the Curve. Brett Freeman. You can find him on Facebook. Right, he was here in that podcast with aeronautic engineer. Amazing chat. Yeah, amazing person too. Yeah, he's there in our messenger chat too.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's a guy who you might want to get in touch with about talking about tax forms and what your name looks like on all these papers we own. You know
No, but
about
but whom you're saying, Brett? No,
Brett.
Ron. Yeah,
No, Brett's real into it too, bro.
yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, yeah, big time. I'm not sure exactly what angles and everything, but he's, talk about the straw man and your the tin man, meaning your tax ID number and all that Wizard of Oz kind of bankers telling us tales through weird movies and stuff. He's real into that, bro. Very, I gotta start reaching out to him a little more about that, and yeah, I would definitely like to learn more about that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's doing a lot of things. He's very busy, Brett, right? Even though he would have loved to pass by, he on more occasions, right? He's been few times, right? That was the first time
Right.
after Flatten the Curve, but he's been
Yeah,
on the podcast few times. And then there is also Alan Nostran saying, I love the Flatten the Curve, right? Queen M is saying she liked the Cosmology series.
cool.
And then there is also no longer on a ball. Hey guys, today we have open stream, right? If anybody wants to jump in, there's a link pinned above on the chat. Anybody is welcome to jump in for a quick chat to say hello or anything on their mind about any of the topic you like or whatever, or whichever podcast we did, right? So today we are celebrating 2 years of our Heliopsychosis podcast, and it looks like there is no end to this heliopsychosis. That's why this uh, podcast is continued, right? So,
Until it's all cured, we won't stop, guys. We're driven. We're gonna erase every last speck of it from everybody. Heliopsychosis, right?
yeah.
That's the craziness people have from the school system and this crazy science, the fake history, fake everything, fake space, fake food, fake air, bad, right? And
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's just weird now when I look at people and they do something weird. I'm like, oh god, there's heliopsychosis showing up. My wife is on the phone and she'll be saying something about one of her friends or whatever. I'm like, oh, because she's crazy. She's got heliopsychosis. She's going mad. You don't even know it.
Exactly. And no longer a ball on a ball says hello, everyone must love. And Stephanie Campbell saying, I enjoyed all the guests. Honestly, everyone brought their own views. Absolutely, Stephanie. Yeah,
Stephanie's been on a few times.
exactly.
We
Stephanie
did the
was
sound. We did this sound episode with Stephanie, and maybe
a few
the
before the
Norse. I think
yeah
the Norse
before
Vikings, right, with Stephanie.
yeah Stephanie. There's a link up there if you
Yeah,
want to jump just for 10-15 minutes. If you wanna, yeah, people. It's not that you have to be here the whole podcast. You can just come for 10 minutes to say hello. So anybody from the chat, right? We would
bro. Did
love
you
to.
see what Alan Nordstrom put up there? Alan, you got flatten the curve on your YouTube. Thank you very much, brother. He's got 7,000 views on his YouTube, bro. That doesn't count on yours, right? So check that out. Wow,
Big shout out,
so
Alan.
cool. Really, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, the flat in the curve is everywhere. People loved a lot, right? It's
Yeah,
everywhere on
bro.
YouTube, on BitChute, on Odyssey, on Rumble, Telegram, many places on YouTube, on TikTok. It's like divided into 20 or 30 parts, and it's there on TikTok. And each of the clips maybe hundreds of thousands of views each, right? And by various people.
Honestly, bro, it's still one of my favorite links to post when I see people that I think could use that information in that video. I still keep it up as like one of my top one.
Oh yeah, brother. Both for me is the both. For me, both are the.
That's true too. But you know what? Mechanical realm is I think it's a little. You need to be in a little deeper. You know, flatten the curve could appeal to almost anyone. Where like mechanical realm, it's I think it's a little bit. It's just deep. It's further out. You know, it's people don't understand the Antikythera. They never heard of it. Not well. Now it's getting more popular. That's for sure. Mainstream's bringing it, but we covered it the best.
Oh yeah, Harmon Volker saying I cannot figure out how to connect. But are you trying to jump in? You just have to click the link, and it's gonna open a browser. Like any other streaming, like StreamYard or any other thing like Zoom. You just click the link that is pinned up, and it should give you an option to.
Jess Palmer's in the house.
Oh yeah, just Palmer is also there. Thanks everyone for being here and spending your time. So the next one was right after. There was another, but I don't know exactly what was the topic because we were 5, 6 people there. I just have written Heliopsychosis podcast, but no title. And the next one was art professor is accused of misleading students and forced to resign. It's crazy. Just 2, 3 days before that, same Louis, our friend, who was also the art, who did the art for the flatten the curve, and he's the one who designed that logo of the truth frequency film, Louis Croes. That was the podcast we did with him.
Mm.
And he's an amazing artist, and just 2, 3 days before he wrote me, and now we are just going through and we are speaking about him. Yeah, amazing artist. Yeah, and flat earther totally. Yeah, we remember that podcast, right, Gene?
Oh yeah, yeah, an amazing story to tell about. He kind of got shut down and silenced by his school. He wasn't allowed to talk about flat Earth.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, and I'm not too sure if he lost his job over it or he was almost about to. And you can't just walk around losing your job because you want to talk about flat Earth. It's not available to everybody. So I forget what happened though.
I think as far as I remember, they just paid him to leave. He
Uh,
got.
that sounds familiar, bro. Hopefully, he's been able to, do that independently. It's not easy to survive as an artist, bro.
Oh yeah, he was saying something that he wanted to do something in Holland with his art and with something with flat Earth, and he didn't expand a lot. But oh yeah, Jess, send him the mechanical. How you say the flatten the curve to your boss. If he was into army and military, air force and mechanic, yeah, Maybe we should make Brett speak to him. Brett loves it, right? Brett loves it. Yeah, yeah. Pass him the flatten the curve, brother, and then let him speak. Right.
Yeah, that's just so much ammunition in that video. 90 minutes jam packed of bombs. No, there's no fluff in that video, bro. Neither one of them really. Both kind of just like boom, 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 boom. Whoa.
Oh yeah. And then we had after that one we had Globies planning a flight over South Pole. Heliopsychosis podcast. Yeah, that one we did with Eddie, right?
Yeah.
Our brother Eddie Alankar.
Oh yeah. That was great. He's bringing up the videos of that guy, that pilot who disappeared. Not literally, but I don't see him anymore. I don't hear from him anymore or anything. But that's just it, though, man. How they're not, like a guy like McToon might, but who's McToon? He's just got a whole bunch of people in a corral, kind of keeping him busy. Real pilots. I don't know. Not too many of them screaming about the globe. At least not that I know of.
Oh yeah, it was just a hype. Maybe he just made some money with all the glowers and he just kept it, right? He wanted to uh, crowdfund maybe I don't know how much, $500,000, $1 million. He was speaking something like that. That's what
Wow.
we discussed in that podcast. And then nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then after that, we had Daryl Marble on Heliopsychosis podcast.
That was fun. That was the first guest that I invited to come on the show. That was the first time I had a guest come on.
Yeah,
That
that's
that was fun for me.
exactly.
Yeah, that was cool. I haven't heard from him in a while. I gotta reach out and say hello to him. Been a while. I used to talk to him a little more, Well, chat, message or whatever.
Yeah, that was a great chat. Yeah, we spoke about the experiment and how it happened, and he was
Yeah,
sharing his whole experience post and pre after that experiment. Right, that was a great chat.
yeah. He's the guy. Darren Marble, guys, is the first that documented that I ever heard of person that flew on a plane with a level, and he filmed the whole thing or most of it, and it was like, his level hasn't changed. And it was an 8-inch or 10-inch spirit level, they call it. So the longer the level, the more accurate it is, really, when you're building something, of course, right? But no, he was the first person to pick that idea up and say, oh, hold on a second, let me try this. And man, he got like his views just went crazy. He woke up one morning with like 150,000 hits or something nuts. It was like, what? Totally, like, he did not expect any of that. But then, there was controversy around him where people were saying, he's doing way too much production to be alone. So I don't know. I thought he was a good guy. He got a lot of people started with that one, got a lot of people's interest.
Oh yeah, something because once it's go, I think that hit the mainstream media. That's why it went so far, right? That's
I
the
don't know,
reason.
bro. Could be, man. That was a big video. I remember seeing that. I don't know how old it was when I first saw it. It's pretty new though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he's doing good. I remember last I heard he's out, and I think maybe Kentucky or something. bought a nice big piece of land, and he's just like, "See you later. Gotta go. I don't want to, you know." So all the best to Daryl. If you're out there, brother, good to see you, man. Call us up, man. Come say hello.
Oh yeah. So yeah, there are some that I'm not even mentioning because it just have says Heliopsychosis podcast, and we are 4 or 5 people in there, but I don't know what is the title, but we are just there, right? So there are many I'm not mentioning. I'm just going through few.
Cool.
All
Yeah,
right.
some of them we didn't even have a subject, bro. We just kind of were like, there's so many problems, Like I say, heliocytosis shows up in people living on a ball in all different kinds of ways. We talk about little things here and there, like they're just kind of lost, making bad decisions and uh, following certain you know agendas until they're like wrung out and then proven false, and then just I don't know. More people are waking up though. That it's saturated to the point where like everybody wants to kind of step away from one part of it or another. But see, bro, that's where we're pretty good, man. We'll get all those weird points that are going wrong in the world. We'll bring them right to the flat Earth. You know,
Oh yeah.
connect. Yeah, man, connecting those dots is a lot of fun, and we do that well here. I know we try to stay on track. I'm bad for it. I know, man. I'm like, I go all over the place. I know you got to reel me in plenty, but that's what it is. All those dots do connect, and it's sometimes it's more fun and a lot easier to show how. But everybody's got a couple dots that are starting to connect now, and it's just too much. Hopefully.
Oh yeah. We That's what we did, right? This whole 2 year connecting more dots after
Yeah,
dots. Uh, then there is okay. There is also cover to cover from Jeremy Pierce is there. Also have joined us, and there's Truer Cherry. I cannot see the whole name, but yeah, it's there. There's Not Walk Nut.
that's great.
Uh,
Not woke nut.
Yeah. And right after that, we had one more, but I don't know exactly the topic. And after that, we had Shelley Lewis from Flatlanders on Heliopsychosis podcast.
Bro, that was the
Go
first
ahead, brother.
one. That was the first episode I missed.
Oh, so you remember the ones you missed? you miss you missed few. Right.
Yeah. Oh. Shelley Lewis. Watch.
First
Gets
one.
better. What?
Yeah, that was a great. You missed it, but that was a great podcast too, right? It was
Uh,
all this was right after Flatten the Curve. All this like it was a wave right after Flatten the Curve. Same way we are having a wave right after the mechanical round. So yeah, that was great. Awesome chat. Shout out to to her also. She's also producing awesome stuff.
oh yeah. I think her husband just bought a pizzeria in Nevada or something like that called the Flat Earth Pizza. Pretty sure.
With new or it's already few time,
I,
right?
I'm not sure exactly, bro. I'm not too sure, but I think she's involved with Flat Earth Pizza somewhere. I thought that was really cool. I thought I saw her and her husband bought it. I was like, what? Am I reading that right? A couple of 3, 4 months ago, maybe. She also Rob Flatplane Earth and Shelley Lewis both graduated out of West Point Academy, which is like an hour north of me. Really, they have a castle on that plot of land there too. I just realized that today. I sent Rob a picture of it. I was like, well, I'm in a New York historical page. I'm in about a lot of New York stuff, historical and, abandoned homes and, all of the mud flood buildings in Manhattan and all the surrounding towns. I just a lot more pages coming together about that stuff, and it's very interesting. So, so yeah, I sent Rob a picture of a castle in West Point. I'm like, really? Is anything underground in their castle?
Oh yeah, they were good friends, I think so. Shelly and Rob, and because of the same.
Bro, West Point's no joke. You don't just get in there and leave because you're decent. You got to be pretty smart to get in and out of that place, from what I understand.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Alan Nostran is saying, Vika, you should come on Flatzoid show some night. It would be fun.
Cool.
I've heard of Flatzoid, but I don't know if it's what is it. It's a podcast show. What is it? Debate.
Flatzoid, that's great.
And right after that, Shelley Lewis and Flatlander, we had Conspiracy Music Guru.
Bro, that was the second show I missed.
Yeah?
Imagine. Yeah, those two in a row. The first one, I think Shelly might have been Mother's Day. It was either one or the other. One weekend was Mother's Day. The next weekend I was on Long Island. I had technical difficulties. I just couldn't get Wi-Fi. I think it was Mother's Day and then Long Island. I was like, oh, what a bummer.
Oh, so two you have now. 2 points, two missed. Oh yeah, brother Alan, I would love to pass by, brother. Sure. If there's some live next time, I'll try to. Sure. That's what we are doing, brothers. Spreading the word, right? That's why we are going on so many different podcasts and getting people on our podcast, right? So,
That's the unity in the community. That's really kind of bonding a lot of people, and even just making friends and acquaintances. And
exactly, we are also doing on TikTok. We every 2 3 days we are going there and debating Glovers and like in live, right? That's not recorded, it's just live. You're just there and you're just right. So we're also doing that. We have an amazing people, like really, potent people, right, Gene? There are some good people on TikTok, man. They know how to freaking defend also. They're good, you know. So
yeah,
it's
really,
great. Yeah, we will be
like,
having one by one some of them to pass by here on our podcast too, but we are whenever there they receive us, right? And amazing
yeah,
stuff.
invite us onto the chat. It's definitely fun. I was on the other day when you were driving around. I sent you the link, but you were out, and I ended up getting on for, I don't know, half an hour. I got up there, said a few things, got a couple points across, and had a little bit of a back and forth with one of the other flat earthers, and it just had how the realm is being heisted by goons, and we can't take control back. That we are way more powerful than we understand, even then more powerful than we probably even think. You know, and since we're not shown, we're never taught these things. We're actually taught, pretty horrible, terrible opposite things. We all kind of. I had heliopsychosis for a long time, bro.
Oh yeah, we all have, brother. We all were.
Yep. I used to love
And
talking about space, bro. Loved it. Which is cool though, because I understood it well enough to understand how terrible it really all was pretty quick. And I wasn't even going to try and hold on to the narrative. I was already like 20, 25 years, and I never trusted the school system. Man, the Catholic school, they beat the shit out of me on Tuesdays because Wednesday was coming. You know, that was in the early 70s when they were allowed to do that. I remember hearing stories in second grade about how they only just recently stopped tying people. They would tie you, if you were lefty, they would tie your hand behind your back. They didn't want left handed people in Catholic schools. Only in a short enough time for me to still hear about it. So, that didn't go over well with me. None of that stuff did.
oh yeah, and this is the thing. As somebody say that, like Alan is saying that, yeah, United they can't stop us. Yeah, that's why we are doing this platforming and podcast and people who are new into this. We are also going and trying to get more new people also through the TikTok because like yesterday, Gene, there was one person who was making a live on TikTok. He wasn't a flat earther, but he had a background with proof to me he's a flat earther, and he had one flat earther and two globers of them. They were like, and there were more than 2,000 people watching, and I tried to jump in and didn't let me in. You know.
Banana bots are right all over you,
Yeah,
bro.
and then later, the Gene Techman tried to enter, and they didn't also even let him. Because they.
Yeah. You gotta get it. You gotta get a fake channel, bro.
Oh yeah, the guys who are flat earther, they know very well, right, brother? Exactly right.
Well, you know what I noticed on these pages, on these TikToks, is that the conversations are pretty good. They're not. They can get heated, which is fine too. It's interesting. Um, but the Globies fall off left and right. They don't stick around. They don't. They come in with this great point or two, and they explain it, and then they get counteracted, and they leave, and then it's just us for a little while, and then maybe another one will come on, and the same thing. Not real solid. They don't have solid points. It's all based on backwards lies from the flat Earth. So cool thing is we're getting better and better. All of us as a community, as at explaining all of this stuff better and better.
Oh yeah,
It's just,
absolutely.
yeah, man. It's not so much. It's a lot of ego and pride, and people don't want to really accept that. Yeah, everything has been Santa Claus, guys. It's none of it's real. And you can't replace it with your mom and dad that bought you presents. It's just different. It's the replacements for flat Earth are not as easy for some of the Globers. They want to see it. They want, you
No,
know.
no, they don't want to see it. We see it every day on TikTok. There, it's like an open house. People jumping in, people going out, people coming in. It's just nonstop. And for 7 hours, 6 hours, people are there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, and you
it's
got
like
every kind of people. You got every kind of glober. You got every kind of flat earther, and there are a lot of them, man. There are lots of them on TikTok, right? Yeah, the best part is they know exactly also who is Gene and Vika, right? They know very well, and
uh,
yeah,
it's cool to get the invites up there. It's definitely fun. When they recognize you, and and they feel like you can fit in and add to the conversation.
oh
It's
yeah,
cool. I worked hard on being able to explain these things and have a straight answers that are kind of simple, straightforward. Here you go. Some of the
exactly.
technical stuff goes right over my head still, bro. I don't get all of that, man. You were talking to McToon. I was some of it I was like, whoa, hold on, bro. Like, wait.
I say to you, even McToon, that he loves that those scientific technical words and all these numbers and all these things. Even he 70% of the stuff bounced off him, right? That was so scientific. My word.
Yeah. No, but but their method works because it is repetition. You can't hear some of this stuff once and walk away and be like proficient in explaining things. I can't, at least. I know I can, but I love sharpening myself up like that, and bro, being here with you, man, is I don't, you know, friggin' awesome, brother. I love you and thank you, man, for taking me on the ride and being a good brother to me, man.
Oh yeah, brother.
Uh,
Same goes to you, brother. For
uh,
keep going, brother. Right? We all and everyone who are following us and who are always joining us, right? We all are together on this
yeah.
journey, right? So, yes, no longer on a ball, right, brother? Thanks for sharing that link of Flatsoid. Sure, I'll check it out. And I'll try to be on their next live.
Cool. Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen some of Vika's lives, they're a lot of fun. It's a different Vika kind of. He goes off on things and he goes in his zone, and it's like captivating. And it's friggin' a lot of great stuff's coming out, man. And it's cool, bro. I was saying this the other day that you could say something random in the middle of the show, and it'll be off topic, and you'll go off for 5 minutes about it, off the top of your head about something random, got nothing, and then you come right back in. It's like, wow, just do that. Because I don't know, I can't always come back. Dan did a good job the other night too. Because it's easy. It's like, you go from here to here to here, and it's like, how'd I get here? I wasn't talking about this. And you're like, oh, it's, man, it's just so much stuff we covering. And yeah, I'm easy to lose track. I know it. So, man, and this show right now, this is a lot of fun going over these shows, bringing back a lot of memories, like memory lane, very nostalgic. You know,
Oh yeah, brother. This is a thing we all learned, as we mentioned in the before earlier, right? That we learn the formats. We try to. It's like a lot of uh, right trial and errors, right? Of doing the right format, right? You just don't come up with things like that, right? And 2 years is like it's quite a good time, right? To try to um, work on it, right? And see and make it more fine tuning, right? It, and also, yeah, and that also the mechanical realm was one of the product, right? Because of the heliopsychosis, right? Because the mechanical realm comes from heliopsychosis, right? So that's also great because so much we covered in these 2 years. So, and as you say, brother, as Gene says, guys, you could go any podcast and just put it on an audio mode because most of our old podcasts are on audio, right? You can just put it on and do your thing, and you're gonna, it's so much. Even I myself, if I would just go back to any of our podcasts and listen again, I would learn more things, right? Because it helps to connect. That's what I think, and other thing I also don't mention, maybe on YouTube, maybe I don't have so much views, but there's so much of watch hour time of the podcast. That means the people are listening to it a lot, right? People are actually, right, hearing it a lot because there are my watch time hours are more than like maybe 40, 50,000 a month watch time hours. right? So
No kidding.
so that's great. So even if
That's
there is
cool,
maybe
man.
some podcasts have maybe 500, but if that 500 maybe was time maybe 500 time more, right, by the same people, but to hear it again or and again, and and so
I
that's
listened to
great.
plenty of them twice, bro. Almost all of them. I listened to 12 hours. I'm wondering, like, a week or two later, I'm like, what was that? And I go back, check it out, end up listening to it. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, and it helps us for the other podcast when we are discussing something similar, right? It helps to convey more things more better, right? Or understand or explain the thing more better, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, Alan, definitely. Yeah, let me know. You can hit me on Telegram. You can hit me on Messenger, uh, Instagram, right?
No longer on the ball. Vika saw your show on Melodome yesterday, I guess, right? And put the
Thank
link.
you, brother.
Thanks a lot. No longer on the ball. Thank you. That was awesome,
Thank you, brother.
and cool for putting the link up there. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
guys,
brother. That was a
check out
great
some of
show.
Vika's other stuff, guys. Definitely, really.
Stephanie is saying both of your films are wonderful. Actual fact. No loud, annoying music or people yelling at you. You have made history. Thank you. Thank you,
Awesome.
Stephanie. Yeah, everyone who's involved, we all have made the history. That's how it is, right? And
Yeah, that's really
yeah,
weird. I'm in that. I'm in that movie. I'm like, wow, you did make history. I'm like, I'm in that though. I'm like, wow, that's so crazy, bro. It's like still like the picture's coming in really slow.
it's crazy. It's not allowing me more than two people.
Ah,
We are trying another streaming. This is the first time we are trying Stream Labs. Normally we do on Stream Yard, and we can have 6 to 8 people, right? But this time it's not allowing. No, bro,
bummer.
no,
I'm sorry.
no worries, brother. The next time, when we have an open mic, for sure, we love that you pass by and do mention about True Earth Wiki. I would love to chat with you here on the panel, brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one was Conspiracy Music Guru. That was also an amazing podcast, which you said you missed it, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
we spoke about the music, his personal thing, where he was, right, in Spain. Like, yeah, amazing chat that was too. He even played a song, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was great. Conspiracy Music Guru. Everybody know him too, right?
Alex Michael, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. After I was like, look at this. Two in a row. Slacking. Nah, legitimate reasons, but I was bummed.
More coming. Don't worry. Yeah. And then after that, we did a very interesting podcast, which was called Antarctica Treaty More Than 500 Years Old. Heliopsychosis podcast. Oh, that one, I loved it. You remember
Oh,
how many different maps we spoke and we showed, right?
yeah, like yeah, a lot of them. The Urbano was it the Urbano Monte map must have been in that one, right? Because then it was later we did Urbano Monte.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, but this one was also is there the Urbano Mante, the map.
Yeah, yeah,
One we did only about Urbano Mante, but this one was about the whole Antarctica and ice wall and the Chile and everything, the war with the aliens they were supposed to have, right? For the
right.
extra lands. And oh, this is the one, the geocentric from TikTok, he loved it. And that day he was trying to show it on Jeranism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, right, right, right. That was the other day. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Nah, that was good, man. That was a mind blowing one. Never even thought of anything like that. You know, they're stuck in that narrative history they gave us, like kind of focused here. And that was like, those blew some doors wide open when you start to realize things like that.
Exactly, exactly. And that podcast was about where we spoke that the Antarctica Treaty is more than 500 years old, because on that Monte Urbano map you could see that how it was shown, it was divided all the different part of Antarctica, Spain, Germany, Italy, France, and many other king princes.
All the
Yeah,
way around. Man.
all the way around. And that was the podcast. This is the thing, we were not just like hanging out in our podcast, right? That's the best part, right? We were really digging in stuff,
Yeah.
right? Really.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that because we were saying before how originally the podcast was just like, we were just kind of freewheeling it, you know? We had no real goal or topic, and it became much more fun when we started to get focused and have a topic and really stay, you know, and do research on it for the during the week and try to come up with as much as I could to share with everybody.
Oh
That's
yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We do a lot of back preparation and everything, right? Coming up with the topic and the subtopic, and yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Hey, bro. And thanks, man, because without the pilot, ladies and gentlemen, without the captain, you know, he takes care of all of this stuff. You know, we're trying a new platform tonight. Um, you know, Vika takes care of all of this stuff. You know, I don't do a lot to help on that end of it. You know, but and I love being here with you guys, and I'm proud to be here with you guys too. You know, it's a
Oh
great
yeah.
family we kind of gathered together, and it's growing, and you guys are great. You know, one day we'll have a big party somewhere. You know, when all the
Oh yeah.
heliopsychosis is gone, we're going to get all the old tech back, and we'll be able to do things that we never even imagined, guys. You
Oh
know,
yeah. It depend on the unity, right? We are like, we all are getting together, and so yeah, brother, for sure. Who knows what the future have for us, right? uh Continuing on that track, right? So yeah.
the outer Illinois, yeah, the outer lands don't want us. I don't blame them. They're the
Exactly.
ones with all the high tech. Everybody from the outer ring, the outer circuit, they're the ones running everything in here. They're the ones who probably still live for 500, 800 years, and they just got us in the circle.
Oh yeah, and in that podcast we are mentioning, exactly in that podcast we are mentioning that about the races around, and how they don't want us, anybody of us, going there. And they're like, they would give hard time to the controllers of here if anybody tries to get there. That amazing podcast, that one also.
That's why they got the ring around the 60th parallel, because from the 60th parallel, with our means of transportation, we'd never reach there and back to get anywhere. We'd never be able to do that. So if the technology got better and engines got better, they'd put us down to the 50th parallel, and they'd keep us further away. They would stop us. They're not just going to let us walk around. We're not free to roam the cabin, guys. Can you imagine
We
that?
yeah. So that's exactly. Go ahead, brother.
No, they got all the different. I picture they got the healthier foods that we don't. Different animals, different, vegetables and fruits, and they're in touch with nature and harmony with all the plants and animals. I bet you. Speculation, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do have people out there that can live 500 years or more. Like, man, the human body is so resilient, and that's how they can torture us like this. They're cutting years off our life. They tell us that we're living longer. I don't believe that. They say people in 1850, oh, you died young because you worked so hard. I'm not sure I really believe that.
Oh yeah, that podcast really opens amazing rabbit holes. That one. And right after that, we did the eclipses on flat Earth. Eclipses and the moon and the sun. We had done so many different ones.
That was
And that
leading up to the Antikythera. There was like a little bell in the background saying Antikythera. We did a few about the moon, a couple different.
oh yeah, the eclipses and the moon we did few, and the sun and the whole
Yeah,
astrology, as you said,
yeah.
astronomy, and with the sightings, and we had some, yeah. And right after that was, yes, Mark Sargent on
Ah,
Heliopsychosis podcast. You missed that one too?
no, I was just like, wow, that seems so long ago. Oh shit! Wow. See, I
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
thought
This
Mark
was
Sargent was
all
way before that. So
no, because it was all right after Flatten the Curve.
okay, wow.
Yeah, that was a great podcast too. Go ahead, Gene.
No, I was just reading some comments, trying to see what everybody's up to over there. They're talking about the Rupus Negro right now. Remain seated with your seatbelts. Yeah, right. Due to the truthful nature of this program, mental seatbelts are required.
All right. So that was, yeah. You remember some of the few other things that we had a chat with Mark Sargent. Oh
Um,
yeah.
Go ahead, man.
No, no, I just remember we invited him because he had uploaded Flatten the Curve, and yeah, it was a great chat too. I remember for just few things, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of details from that one. Queen M says free thinkers are dangerous. That's right. Dangerous
Oh
to the
yeah,
system.
because they're not predictable, right? And then right after Mark Sargent, the next week we had Sean Hibler.
Ah, Hibbler was fun.
Oh yeah, that was also a nice podcast.
He's an interesting
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing his new one come out. Old World Order, maybe.
Order. Yeah.
Yeah, old World Order.
Oh yeah.
That looks pretty good, guys. And Hibbler puts out some good stuff, and I'm glad to see that it's taken some time. I heard about this quite some time ago, and then nothing for 6 months. So he's taking his time. He's probably hammering some really cool stuff down in that one. And I'm a big fan of the buildings. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn. I've been hung out in Manhattan, done a lot in the city, and I was always fascinated by the buildings. You know, me and a friend had off on Mondays, and not a lot of people had off Mondays. And in the early '90s, for a couple of years, we went as many Mondays as we could, just walking around, going inside as many buildings as we could, try to get to the roof, go look around. Boy, I wish I knew what I knew now. I wish I knew that then,
Oh yeah. You would have recorded everything, right?
bro. You know, not that, and I find things. You know, if I find something laying around on the ground, taking it home. Bricks and stuff from buildings. Like I collect stuff. I got some cool. I don't know how to explain it, but um, the places that I got this stuff, like from Brooklyn and upstate. I know the years that they were built. Like I got a piece from Brooklyn, 1820, 1840, downtown Brooklyn. There was 1,000 houses in Brooklyn then, and that was about it. And that's where I got it from, in that neighborhood. So I'm like, oh wow, what do I have? And these some of these stones have inside corners, like they say at not Machu Picchu, um, not Gobekli Tepe. Where's that place, Vika? Puma Punku. Would have all those inside corner cuts, perfectly sharp angles. Like I have pieces like that, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I've seen some photos. Yeah, amazing stuff.
it's crazy, right? Now I'm like, what is this stuff now? I find it puzzling. I'm like, wow. But your instinct tells you what to get. Like, and I traded some of those pieces. Anytime there's construction going on, guys, I would highly recommend, if you're into stuff like that. Maybe you know already, but anytime they're digging the dirt up, go look around. Anytime there's a machine digging the dirt around your town, the city, try to get in there and go look around. You'll be amazed what you find right underneath the dirt. A lot of stuff. And anytime they're tearing a building down, try to, like, it used to be easier. In the '90s, you walk up to anyone, go talk to them. More so on a job site. Now it's like, oh, you can't cross lines. You're not allowed here without a badge. But anytime, guys, if you can get into a construction site where they're doing demolition, ask them, can I take that home? You guys are going to throw that out. Can I have that? Like, yeah, go ahead, take it. Thank you. Bye. Because the guys
Oh
don't know.
yeah. Sometimes you can get treasures, right? Without when you, especially this old kind of stuff. Sometimes can have value that we cannot even imagine, right? So finding that kind of stuff is.
No, it is like a treasure, bro. Especially when you know it's going in the garbage. They fill a dumpster and just put it in a landfill. I'm like, oh, please.
Oh yeah, this is the thing, and I think it's gonna be a great movie. Yeah, because I think he's taken so much time, so have to be a lot of put in a lot of time, so have to be something awesome, right? So absolutely, I'm looking forward for that. Sean Hibler, New World Order. And right after that, we had the episode. I don't know if you remember Tartaria Civilization. Who was that with?
Tommy. My
Who was
crazy
it?
Canadian
Who
friend.
was it?
Toronto Tommy. I love that dude.
Tommy.
He-
Tommy Rogers.
Tommy Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy, he just went off like, holy shit.
He was
That was
hard to
about
reel in. Like, yo, bro, slow down. He was talking about all kinds of hot words, bro.
oh yeah, non-stop. I was
Excuse me.
like I was like, oh yeah, Tommy. You're like, all right, all right, all right. You're like
I love that dude.
non-stop. Yeah.
He's got a lot of videos, guys. He's a guy from Canada, in Toronto, that walks around in the woods with his video camera. And I'm pretty sure his dog died now, and I don't think he got a new dog. Um, but he's up there showing like brick buildings in the middle of the woods in Toronto, and all places in Canada. He's a political activist up there, really well known. He's a really good dude too. Tommy was one of the first friends I had on Facebook that wasn't someone I knew. Dan Sphinx was one of the first, and Tommy was one of the first friends where I broke down. I'm like, these guys are cool. I want, I think maybe one of them friended me, and I'm like, I don't take friends that I don't know. But I was just like, kind of gotta. And I jumped that fence, and that's when I might have changed my name then too. I don't know when I changed my name, but the name change is kind of silly because what locks are to keep the honest people out, right? Vika? Someone wants to find my name, go look me up. They're gonna do it. So you know,
Oh yeah, Tommy. Yeah, we know Tommy long time, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys, I was surprised. You guys knew each other longer than me, longer than I knew him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Look at as the world shrinks around us, it also really expands. It's kind of a weird dynamic of what's going on, right? The community shrinks as it grows.
All right. I hope the sound and video is all right. Maybe it was lagging or something because Robin is saying we were losing you guys. Seems better now. All right. So yeah, that was a great chat also with Tommy Rogers
Definitely.
from Flat Out Toronto. He has a group called Flat Out Toronto on Facebook. Anybody can check that one if you're in Canada. I think he does some meetups and all this stuff. And then right after that, we did a podcast called The Firmament. For sure, this one we were speaking about the dome and that experiment with the with in the bottle with the a micro ecosystem done by one of the guy in from England. Yeah, that was also a
Oh
great
yeah,
podcast.
that's right. The guy who had the like a terrarium, the ecosystem in a big jar for like 30 or 40 years or something, and never opened it.
Exactly that one. That one. And
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
That is
the terrarium. So I will stop the video for some time. Maybe that's why. Maybe it was lagging or something. Maybe it gets better. Maybe we'll do. Yeah, that was a great podcast too. Yeah, and where we even mentioned that maybe even the dome could have been uh diamond, right? Because it's somewhere it said that it's hardest crystalline structure and could be possible that the meteorites could be these pieces of this dome, right? I remember that podcast. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember a few things from that podcast right now, but yeah, that was a great podcast.
Guys, let me say, man, when I hear, that we can't drill too far down, that's narrative stuff. I always try to remember that's just what they're trying to make us think, you know. And so let's say that's true. Whatever they're hitting, it could be like some new element that they're not telling us about. They might not even know about it. So, all of the the ether was taken out of the table of elements in the 1920s or something like that, right? So who knows what else is taken away or even added, you know? So it's just cool because like I didn't learn till recently that the ether was even in the table of elements, and it's kind of hones in my idea of, anything I'm listening to, like make believe it's coming from the narrative and treat it like it's very suspicious information and should be investigated further before I just kind of agree with things. If
Oh
that makes
yeah,
sense, right?
oh yeah. They've done it purposely, but yeah, they say right. The middle finger represents the ether. That's why they screwed it up, like the middle finger.
Oh, really? And you know what they tell us? Could be partially true, but they say that it's from archery days back when they were shooting people with bows and arrows, that they would use the middle finger, and the middle finger was kind of like pointed at you because that was what you pulled your bow back with, not your pointer finger. That's what I heard, where the finger came from.
Oh yeah, and here where what I'm saying is that it was with the five fingers, and every finger is representing an element, and it's supposed to be the fifth element.
Wow. Okay. I like that way better.
I hope now that we are not lagging or anything.
I got my camera off right now, though. I'll come back in a minute.
All right. And right after that, we had another awesome one: ancient trees and giants.
Bro.
Wow. What have we not discussed here, right? Which part have we left?
Ancient trees. I wish we could have got Stellium, not Stellium 7. No, that's Mike. Hangman 1128 does Hangman 1128 is on YouTube, and that guy does breakdown of what the trees laying that the old trees, the mountains, on how they break down just like trees. Yeah, try to get him on. You know what? I'm gonna reach out to that guy again and see if we can get him on, man. Hangman 1128 was awesome with that stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And this is the thing, I don't remember all the whole podcast because it was 2 hours too. But yeah, we went on giants. Giants is one of our also main. We discussed a lot the giants right here.
Oh yeah, I love that
Also
topic,
through
bro.
our all through the cosmologies too, right? Everywhere was giants.
Oh yeah, and all different sizes, different kinds, different reasons. I was into the Giants before Flat Earth, bro, and I remember wondering, like, I'm looking at a tree. I'm like, all right, that tree's like 50 feet. What would a 100-foot person look like, and how fast could they run? What would, all kinds of questions like that were going through my head for a couple of years before I got into flat Earth. I was into mud fossils and Roger Spur. Um, that's where I met Dan and Tommy.
Yeah, I also remember seeing some things before flat Earth that what you're speaking about. Yeah, that was interesting. Was quite good.
Right, so I'm trying to fit all these giants on the Earth at the size I knew, and I'm just like, how does this work? It was just too much. I couldn't. It didn't register. I'm like, you know, these things seem to be too big. Like two chickens on a basketball or something.
Oh yeah, and I remember we speaking about in that with the giant trees. That's not possible on a globe because imagine having a giant tree going miles in the sky on a globe, on the other side of the globe, or right? It doesn't
Exactly.
make sense.
No, it really don't. You know, and I even, I'm friends with Roger Spur, and I used to talk to him a lot. Um, and he stopped talking to me when he realized I was a flat earther. He lost his mind on me because I asked him, I'm like, Raj, you got these things that they're too big to live on a 25,000-mile circumference ball, bro. It can't be real. So the world's got to be at least 100 times bigger than they're saying. It's got to be a 250,000-mile ball. It's got to be. And he's like, oh, he didn't want to hear it. He's like, no. Even recently I saw, check it out, a friend of mine, one of the rock guys grabbed a post of mine. They give me no credit, by the way. I was like, ha. And he posted my post about space being 94%, 96% unknown and dark matter. And like, so he grabs my post and tags Roger in it. And then they start talking about space and stuff. And I'm just like, ah, man, guys, what's going on? But, you know, I think it's optional whether or not you see what's going on though now. So some people might, like a guy like Roger, he might not want to talk about flat Earth. He's got his own thing going on. He might just be ignoring that for, you know, because he knows what happens to people when you start talking about flat Earth. So
Oh yeah.
that scenario's running across my mind once or twice. But there's no way they can have all those giants on a ball that we have, guys, and all those trees that were into the clouds, miles tall.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna break if it's on the side of a ball. With its own weight, it's gonna fall in the abyss of the space on the side of the ball, or below of the ball.
Yeah, what happens to
Right?
the top of the trees? Do the top of the trees get ice caps like mountains?
Exactly when it's cold, right?
Yeah, but I tell you what, um, might have been at that show. I mentioned a movie I love is called Jack the Giant Slayer. Man, I really like that movie. It's
Oh
all,
yeah, that movie.
yeah, right, bro. That movie was really good. Oh, there we go. Hi guys.
And then right after that, we did the Earth, the Giant Plane. Ah, this is my favorite one.
Man, the giant plane. That's where we kind of question the circle we're in versus the other circles and just how big it is, and it's all to be determined still, right? But we were talking before about the with the firmament one. I think we were talking about where they went off the coast, like from the equator to the coast of Antarctica, 2,500 miles in, and they found what appeared to be something mysterious, and they were trying to drill through it and lost machinery, and they had a box of it and it just evaporated into nothing. And but now you think of a 2,500-mile ring around everything we know. So right here there'll be 2,500 miles all the way around that. That's so 2,500 miles is roughly, right the size of the United States. So you can take this whole thing. So yeah, you see the red ring. They got the ice wall right here. I'm trying to point this, and then they got the red the red ring around it would be right around the size of the United States. So this right here could be representing something right there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's in the Monte Urbano map. Instead of that red ring, there is fertile land, right? That it's
They don't show any ice around there in the Urbano Monte map. Right? I don't think there's any ice there. That's the next map I want. I really want one of those. I want to get a nice size one.
oh yeah, and this one I think also Earth the giant plane. We spoke about the plains, the grasslands, the mud flats, the ice sheet, the tundras. This is the podcast we went into with this one, where we speak about it. Um, that how it is disguised as a flat in all these names: depression, ice
Steppe,
sheet,
the wetlands, the
steppe.
swamps, the prairies,
Exactly.
the plains.
It's endless, brother.
On and
It
on
just
and
says,
on.
and I didn't even add the desert, right? It's in
Yeah.
reality the deserts are flat, right?
Deserts are huge too. Yeah.
The mud flats,
Yeah.
the salt flats, the depressions, the ice sheets, the tundras,
Bro.
the grasslands. So many pyries,
Yeah.
coastal
Well,
plains, abyssal plains, right?
and right, guys, and that's what we're talking about the land, which is 30% of the ball. All measurable, described, observably flat. Flat, flat, flat. Topographical. So some people like to mix that up. Yeah, of course, there's mountains and valleys. Fine, but it's all level, sea level. How you get,
Exactly.
with every 10, the first 10 miles is 60 feet, right? So you go 10 miles to go see a friend. You got to think that there's a 60-foot difference in your table and in their table. And
Exactly.
Vika, am I right? Because now you take that 60 feet is only a small percentage of the 25,000, right? 24,901. Okay, fine. It's half a percent, but 60 feet is still 60 feet no matter what you do, right? It's 10 miles, 60 feet. We can see 10 miles. And I'm pretty sure that people out there have a sensitive enough eye to see that buildings 10 miles away don't show 60 feet of that. And not even your eye. The camera would pick it up. The camera would pick up the divergence, the evidence of a center point of gravity of living on a ball. And that never shows up, ever. So it's almost even past the curve. All right. We're not going to see a curve, but I'd like to see the evidence of something showing us that there's a center point of gravity on a huge ball we live on, and that's being proved impossible with lasers, with buildings that measuring all plumb, all perpendicular, parallel to the plane, everything. That's how everything is designed, built. That's how the materials are specced out for. And believe me, if 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 there's a difference in the specs and the cost of that building between a curve and a straight line is going to be measurable in the price, and it's just not there. They got that. Was it like a 1 mile building, a 1 mile long building? I think, is that right? In maybe Dubai or something. What are they doing out there?
Oh yeah, they have this Burj Khalifa. They say this
Oh, that's
tallest
the tall
building.
one, right?
Oh yeah, you mean the line one, the long one, the
Yeah,
line
the
that was
line. How
in
long is
Arabia.
that?
I don't know, maybe it's just 200, 150 miles.
Is it that long? Bro, they
Supposed
would
to.
have to. You're going to be able to roll, you know, roll a ball right across the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like a huge bowling alley. There's not going to be anything showing evidence of a center point of gravity in that building.
Exactly. Oh yeah, they're supposed to spend $1 trillion in that project.
What's it for? Is there like a reason for it?
No, it's just another architecture they
Party?
want to make, right? Yeah, they want to create something futuristic in a desert, right? Uh,
Wow. Yeah, and another way to show us that they could do whatever they want. Kind of, they could bring a world into desert places like Vegas and the Khalifa places, whatever it is. And then those places are definitely not isolated. They
oh
do
yeah,
what they want,
they have
those guys.
exactly. They have all the money of the oil, right? So they can do anything they want.
Well, bro, everything's a petroleum product. We talked about that last week. How many different petroleum products are in my phone, my mobile device? Countless. Probably over 50. Over 50% of it's petroleum product, I bet you.
Oh yeah, a lot, especially with the electronics and the amount of electronics. Right. So that
Hibbler.
was.
Hibbler, and then the flat giant plane, right? Hibbler, giant trees, giant plane. And guys, we've been working hard on getting guests for you guys, right? And hopefully you noticed that through the past 2 years and maybe even more so recently. And we got, I think it's like probably between 6 and 8 weeks booked out right now. And we got some really cool people coming up, guys. You're going to have a lot of fun soon. And thanks for being here, everybody. Happy anniversary to all you guys. And thank you all so much for hanging out with us. You mean a lot, guys. It's like family that we haven't met yet. Really. Hey, look at the stars.
You
Yeah.
see, oh,
What is
I
that?
don't know
How's
how
that
the hell it's
happen?
doing. I don't know. You
How's it?
can see behind me. No, I saw behind you.
Yeah, I
Maybe
saw that.
maybe something. We thought maybe it was before because of the StreamYard, but right now it's making here too. So maybe it's have to be from the Apple.
Could be. Could be. That's pretty neat looking, though. That's cool.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. So that was Earth the giant plane, right? How the different geographies put in different names, but they all mean flat. That was the whole podcast about Earth the giant plane. There was it was one of my first video that really got traction, right, both on YouTube and on Facebook. This is the video, and that's the podcast from that video.
That's cool, bro. I love the music in that video, bro. Is that Liquid Blue? Cool music, man.
Liquid Bloom, yeah, amazing
Boom, that's
music.
it.
This is,
Yeah.
yeah, you can find it on SoundCloud, guys. If you guys want some really psycho, no psycho, right? Like, psychic music, like relax, right? Electronic music with a lot of organic sounds from different cultures, right? This is amazing music. You put this music, guys. Uh, um, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's called on SoundCloud. You can find it. Maybe I'll try to put it here on the in the chat, the names. Try this out, guys. You guys are gonna say, I've been into electronic music all like all my life, right? So it's from the time it was born to now, right? I play music, and I'm also into music, like relaxed music, right? So this music is amazing, right, for background, uh, when you're chilling out. First one is called Liquid Bloom, and let's see if it sends. The another one is called Desert Dweller. Find these two artists. They're the same artists with different names, but amazing stuff for background music. So when I used to use music in my before videos, I used to use this music, right, or something similar to this kind of music. This is a whole genre in itself in electronic, that it's called Sybient. Instead of ambient, it's called Sybient, right? So if you guys want to have some background music and you're chilling out, really, put that on SoundCloud, Liquid Bloom, or Desert Dweller. All right. So when we continue, the next one after that was Space is Science Fiction. Nice. Yeah, that
That
one
was a
also
good
was a
one.
nice one. Space.
That was a
Yeah.
good one, bro.
Space is,
Who was
oh
with
yeah,
us that
like,
night? Does it show who was with us? Can you see?
no,
I forget.
no, I cannot see. I can just see the title.
Space is science fiction, guys. All day. Do you guys see the Oreo thing now? The Oreo has a thing. You can win a trip to space through Oreos. Oh boy, it's rough.
Oh yeah, the people are more rich too because of that. Or yeah, they're gonna send them to
Bro.
space.
No, it'll be like a freaking great adventure ride. They'll put you in a thing and move you around a little and show you some pictures on the screen. You'll feel like you're moving around. Those rides are so high tech now. I bet you they'll trick people into thinking they're in space. You know, bring them underground, open up a room, and be like, "Wow!" You know. Don't
Exactly.
forget, guys. The mechanical realm shows us that there's a civilization out there 1,400 years more advanced than us.
Exactly. It's there in few seconds, said in few seconds, but if you're able to catch it, you will go down that rabbit hole, right? Because as I think we did a podcast also, right, about technologies and all this, right, after mechanical realm. where
Yeah.
we were just, when those rabbit holes opened, we were like, hmm.
That's something, man. That idea hovers around me a lot because I can't believe it's not true. I, c- I c- I don't believe it's not true.
And especially with the Antikythera mechanism, right? Now that we see what it is, it's very difficult to say what it could have been, right? To be 1400 years in future, in
Yeah,
technology
bro.
wise and everything.
Tells me those people, those men and women had like such a great understanding of the world we live in. This is far supreme. They want us to think that that was part of the dark ages where there was no, nothing advanced, everything kind of, they just nobody figured nothing new out. Everybody was kind of
Everybody,
stupid.
yeah, everybody was just farming, or
Yeah. No major
being
medical
a
advances, no
shepherd.
scientific advances, no mathematical advances. Just yeah, like you say, farming and growing crops, and people were pretty dumb for 500 years or so. That's what the Dark Ages is. But we know how backwards the narrative is. So now you take that scenario and you swap it, and those were the most brilliant people history has ever known. And there was probably no big wars going on. They probably weren't really always fighting with each other like they want us to think. That's the part that bothers me about a lot of this. And war, 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 war. I'm like, nah, man. People are not that uptight, really. I don't believe that. We could get uptight when you're pushed into tiny little corners that you can't get yourself out of, and that's where finances comes in. We can't
Oh yeah.
can't get you can't get into ourselves because we're too externalized, chasing the carrot. You have two and a half, three jobs now, and you know, making ends meet was a freaking psyop.
Oh yeah, brother. So yeah,
Good night, Robin. Robin's saying good night. We'll see you later.
see you,
Thank
Robin.
you.
And then after that, we did the Electric Sun. Oh yeah, this is also one of my favorite ones, the Electric Sun. So
Yeah,
this
that's
one, just we were expanding on the video that I had of the Electric Sun. Yeah, that was a great one too. The Electric Sun, Nikola Tesla, the ball lightning effect, the Eric Dollard.
Dollar. That's the name I couldn't think of. Yeah, yeah, he's big into that. He's got a lot of good stuff on that, and that's from a long time ago too.
Exactly. That was also an awesome podcast. You want to know everything about the Electric Sun? We have discussed here 1.5 hour podcast. The Electric Sun is, you have the video as a 8 minute video, and then you have this podcast. If you want to know about the sun, everything. Uh, and right after that, we had the gravity is a hoax. Gravity itself is a huge topic in itself. We discussed there, and then we also did Einstein genius versus fraud.
That one was fun, bro.
Oh yeah, I remember we were like having laughing so much in that one, all of us.
Those guys bug me, man. These Neil deGrasse Einstein guys. They got the people captivated with this nonsense. But you know what? You go to these science pages now, bro, and there's people out in force, on so many of those pages. Kind of cool.
Oh yeah, and I remember in that podcast we really stripped Einstein, right? We got the real stuff from where he was really screwed up, right? That was an amazing podcast. That one, like all how he did his calculations and his fake maths in his head, and how was he during his school years and everything. That was a deep one too.
Right.
So if you want to know about Einstein being a fraud, check that podcast. It's called Einstein, Genius or a Fraud. And then right after that, we did about the real genius. That is the Nikola Tesla, the real genius.
Right.
That was an amazing podcast too. I remember in that time, Rob wasn't very positive about Nikola Tesla, but right after that podcast, he was saying that he believes that maybe Tesla was onto something, right? Yeah, that was a great podcast too. This one, I don't know if we did a second part, but for sure you can do a second or even a third part of this Nikola Tesla, the real genius, because we speak about many different patents and many different stuff that he was working on, and how the people tried to screw him, the other scientists, right? And what all he was into. Awesome podcast, Nikola Tesla, the real genius.
Yeah. He worked with J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan was the one who funded him and pulled his funding. Wanted everything when he found out it was free energy. He got rid of him.
Oh yeah, and
I've been to a building, the what is it, Warden Cliff in Long Island a few times. The building where Tesla was, and it's all fenced off. It's a cool building. I'd hate to, you know, fall on the fence and jump on the other side by accident one day. That would be a shame. A little scary. This
oh
house
yeah,
was right.
this was where you were first supposed to do your recording, right? You had ideas, right? Remember we spoke about.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna do it over there. My sister was gonna try to get her. She has a friend that works in like legislation on Long Island out there, and she's some kind of politician. She was gonna try and get me past that fence legally, and it didn't work out though. But not all those things really do work out. So we keep trying. Like I got a friend, not a close friend of a friend, but he's also a politician, and he's a pilot instructor. And I've been reaching out to him for like over a year now, trying to get his attention to take me over Manhattan and just do a spiral upwards over Manhattan and just go as high as we can. You can go, you know, and try and find the curve up there. But it's not easy, It's just not like the guests, bro. Like Vika, man, you know how difficult it is to line these shows up and get guests on and be able to and willing. And time is precious, man. So we're really thankful for all you guys out there who hang out with us all the time. And to our guests who've been here, anybody that is coming on, just really thankful. Always, always, always am, guys. It's always an honor to be here with all you guys.
Oh yeah, brother. Absolutely. It takes yeah, it takes more time in preparing and scheduling and programming and getting the people, and you know, for sure.
Definitely.
So after that, We did the Midnight Sun.
Yeah,
That was
cool.
a good one too. Yeah, there was many. Yeah, many people in the panel that day. After that, we did the Hyperborea, the North Pole,
Nice.
right? We went into some ancient texts speaking about Hyperborea and what it could be, what kind of races, and we speak about the North Pole around that. Was an awesome podcast too. And after that, we did Star Trails on Flat Earth, Heliopsychosis podcasts. And then we did Mysteries of the Moon. Yeah, the moon we have covered so many times.
Yeah.
And then we did the world ancient cosmologies. That was just one.
That
Uh, that was just
was
one in with just a little bit of surf,
that was
surfing of different cosmologies.
like a preparation one. We kind of covered a bunch of them.
Yeah, and what intense, right? It was intense. And right after that, we had a maze in planet flat earth. This this video, wow. But we did a podcast on this. This is all about Antarctica and the extra lands and all the etymology, right?
Yeah.
That was, yeah. If you want to know all the etymology of the word, a bit about Antarctica, the Saturn, and how in the words they control us, right? And amazing one too. I have a video on that, and this is the podcast of that amazing planet flat earth. Amazing. And then after that we did Descent from Darwinism, every the whole crap about evolution.
That one was great, bro.
Oh yeah,
You know what?
more than go ahead.
When when I used to believe in all this stuff, I just thought God took like a pile of dust off of his desk and went and blew out the universe, and that was our universe. And we would just come here as like a physical spirit trying to learn what God did for us. And then when we die, we go back to God and tell him how great this place was and all the cool people we met, all of the brothers and sisters that we shared life with and loved and had a great time with in this really cool place that he created for us. And I thought it was our job to figure this stuff out, space. And he wanted, and that was my job to come down here, figure the world out, share the information, and go back to God and tell him about how much fun I had down here with all my brothers and sisters. And this is what I figured out. And then I would be told where I was wrong and where I was right, and then maybe with that information about what I learned here, maybe I go to a new plane of existence, or maybe someone who understood that level better, and I could grow to a newer level of understanding. But I always just thought that was part of the creation. And now I don't. I mean, there's so many holes in evolution that that's all it is. You know, if it wasn't for the holes, there'd be nothing.
Oh yeah, and that in that podcast we spoke about how more than 1,000 scientists are against Darwinism and the evolution theory. And in that podcast, we speak about that intelligent design, the motor, the flagellar
Right.
motor.
The
Yeah, that
flagella
was
motor, yeah. That is a tiny little gear system that propels. What is it,
the cells,
bacteria, Vika?
yeah, the cells
Oh,
bacteria.
man, the flagellum motor. That's part of
Exactly,
evolution.
exactly.
Early evolution, too, no less. And they got one cell organisms, right? They got that. They don't have two cell organisms or three or four. Makes this huge jump. The fossil record shows no transitional fossils, nothing turning into anything else ever. And a lot of those fossils would probably be ancient life. Yeah, no problem. But not the dinosaurs that they're telling us.
Oh yeah, and how it speaks about the shaft and the motor looks like a machine, right? If you really look for the images of this flagellum motor, it looks like a piston with a shaft with gears, like
Mhm.
and it's moving the tail like a
Those
robot.
cells,
Yeah,
cells the thing. And it's
exactly.
microscopic. It's you could fit 1,000 of them on a pin of a head, or I don't know how many, but it's microscopic.
Yeah, the people need to check out that podcast also if you want to know about
Mhm.
that Darwinism and what is the real proof against the evolution theory. The podcast is called Descent from Darwinism.
Yeah, that was a good one, guys.
And then after that, we had the Urbano Monte map decoded. Yeah. So this is a video about the Monte Urbano map that I had a video, and this is the podcast. So if you really want to know things about Monte Urbano map, this is the podcast you need to watch. And then we did satellites are hoax. Then we did the abyssal plains. We speak about in the abyssal plain all apart from all the earth, the giant plane that we speak about the earth. We in this abyssal plain podcast we speak about everything about the plains, abyssal plains, the continental shelves, the tectonic plates, the sea hills, the sea cliffs,
Uh,
the abyssal
the,
plains on the Pacifics, that how
the way
flat
the
is all this.
yeah, the way the beaches come up, and it really does appear to be like a ball that's being held in all the oceans.
Exactly.
And think about that. 30% land is all, not all, you know, over 50% of the land is measurably flat. And then the rest of the hills and valleys and stuff like that. So then you can take that same idea and bring it right into the ocean floor. It's all kind of the same. It all looks like a big lake. Some of the shorelines are different. You get sheer cliff walls in some places. Yeah, definitely. That's the topography. That's the different, waterfalls and the different terrain, different parts of the circuit where the sun hits least and most. Hey, thanks to our southern friends in the outer circuit of Capricorn right now. I hope you enjoyed all the sunshine, and we thank you all for sending the sun back our way because we really need it. We miss it a lot, and thank you very much.
Oh yeah. And then we had the book of Enoch. Then we had flat Earth in Bible. Then we had the Norse cosmology. This is where we started our cosmology series from the
Yeah.
book of Enoch onward. So that was book of Enoch, flat Earth in Bible, Norse flat Earth cosmology. Then we did Sumerian flat Earth cosmology. Then we did flat Earth in Quran, and then we did Mayan flat Earth cosmology. Then we did Chinese Buddhist flat Earth cosmology. You remember in this one, you were not feeling well, and you said you were not supposed to come, and I said come for this one, and you're gonna feel better. That was
That's
the
it.
one.
That was
The
it.
Chinese, yeah,
Oh,
Chinese Buddhist cosmology.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I almost, I was like, I can't make it tonight, man. I just don't. And you're like, just don't even say nothing. Just come hang out, bro. And I did, and felt better by well before halfway through the show, bro. I was like, that
Oh
was great.
yeah. Oh yeah, because the what we were sharing there. Yeah, this whole series is absolutely one of the best you can find about all the ancient cultures, because we really dig in each and every one of them, right? With flat earth and geocentric, how these cosmologies speak about this geocentric stationary flat earth, right? And how their creation story started, right? It's amazing. I don't know if you can find this so much of detail with the aspect of flat earth anywhere, this whole series, right?
Yeah, that was great.
We went in so deep, we learned so much, right, in this series.
So many different names, aspects, and how they all kind of line up with each other. Just the timeline we don't really know, but the names are like, and what they were doing, it's all the same stuff. It's just where they belong is
Exactly.
debatable.
And
You
how the
know,
names were used in the games, in the movies, right?
yeah,
They are literally ripping off everything with the games and everything from these ancient cosmologies, right? Be it the Sumerian, the Norse, the anyone. Yeah.
everything is a ripoff, bro. It's all a cheap carbon copy of what we could really have. Ever since I was a little kid, though, there's no parallax in the stars, meaning that the stars don't shift away from each other. They all move in unison over and over. That always bothered me even as a little kid. When I first started learning about this stuff, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And the explanation didn't help. Well, they're just so far away that we can't tell they move. You have to wait 10,000 years. They used to look different. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, they used to. Okay. And then I got into these kind of conversations and learning all these things. And, those, some of the explanations are just beautiful. And the similarities between them, I love it. But
Oh
it does
yeah.
it. This guy explains that was a creation. It's a clock. The ancients knew it, and they're hiding it from us. They don't want us to know more about what's really going on up there. And the Catholic Church, the Vatican has stock in this enormous telescope in Nevada. They happen to call it Lucifer, whatever. You call it whatever you want. That's an acronym. It stands for something. Um, but what is their? Why are they so interested throughout the centuries? Why are they so interested in outer space? They don't. Do they teach that stuff? I don't think they teach it, but they have this big interest. So, what do? They got us watching stars on TV while they watch the stars that we're supposed to be watching.
Exactly.
It's a big bait and switch, guys.
Oh yeah, and you know what is the best part? I was just counting this series, and there are 12 different cosmologies we discussed in this series, right? Curious,
Cool.
12, right?
Nice.
So
That's
we
great.
did the Enoch, the Bible, the Norse, the Sumerian, the Quran, the Mayan, the Chinese dash Buddhist, right? It's the same thing. Then you
Hmm.
the Egyptian, the Zoroastrian, the Celtic, the Slavic, the
Slavic was
Vedic.
crazy. The Slavic one was crazy, bro.
All of them, brother, all are so
Yeah.
intense. Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to know about these ancient cosmologies? Go and check them out. Right, you just put them on a. They are all audio. They're not video, so you could just
Yeah.
literally put it on and do something, but listen to all of those 12. You're gonna have you're gonna know what the ancient thoughts, right? How they saw their world, right? And it's crazy thing, right? All the giants. And yeah, go ahead, Gene.
I'm wondering. We did that whole series. Do you remember, like, almost or exactly when you came up with doing something about the mechanical realm? Do you remember, like, where we were when you figured that out? Because we covered all these cosmologies. It's like this is all a precursor to the mechanical realm, kind of. All these ancient cosmologies what got us to the Antikythera mechanism. So I'm just curious. Do you remember the moment where it was like something struck you? You know?
Before we were doing this series already.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
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 because you know
but
what? It, in the middle of the series is when we all got into it. I think because I remember talking about all these things. It was like we were trying not to say stuff, and we were saying things to each other like that. Hopefully, people wouldn't understand, and then maybe later they would. That we were really talking about the mechanical realm in the middle of all this. Remember that, bro?
exactly, exactly. That's why also in the Sumerian, in the Slavic, in the Zoroastrian, already we were
Yeah,
putting in hints there, right?
that's right. Oh man, it was hard. We were laughing because it was just fun, We knew something was coming, and we knew you guys were gonna love it and appreciate it. And so it was fun kind of knowing that for a little while without anybody else knowing, understanding that these guys are gonna love this. Like, that was a lot of fun because there's not a lot of things you can know that other people don't know. So when something's going on like that, we had fun, man. That was a lot of fun going through those series and making little hints towards things like, oh well, what if? What if was the presentation of what we were getting towards.
Oh yeah, because we knew what we were speaking about, right? Because we were sometimes speaking in the codes during those. Only the ones who were on the panel could understand, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, that
yeah,
was great.
that was cool.
Yeah. So I totally recommend this series of this cosmology. Yeah,
And
cosmologies, right?
after the Egyptian one, I think we took a 6 week break for Christmas, and we came back with what
The
was after the
Zoroastrian.
Zoroastrian, yeah, and that's when Evelyn started with us, right around that time. Pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, and Stephanie also was around that time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stephanie might have been off of Zoroastrian actually, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think she was there for that. And the Norse and sound. Yeah,
oh yeah, because the last one from the cosmologies was the Vedic flat Earth cosmology. That was around in January, right? And then right after that was Flatten the Curve first anniversary podcast.
right. Wow,
That
bro.
was forever. That was exactly a year.
Yeah. Yeah, we nailed that one good.
And
Bro,
then
this
we
one.
had, Yeah, go ahead.
This one almost got away from us, guys. With all the excitement going on lately, release of the TMR, the Mechanical Realm video. Neither one of us, until the last moment, we were like, "Hey, wait a second. We're in over 2 years now," and we're like, "Wow!" So that's what brings us here today, guys.
Oh yeah, we didn't celebrate the second anniversary of Flatten the Curve, but yeah, but it's all good. We are celebrating the Heliopsychosis podcast. All right. So yeah, right after that, then that was the Greek. Yeah. So there's okay. There's another one we left. We left this for the later one because yeah, because of
That's
the
right.
mechanical realm.
That's right. That was the
We
last one,
skipped that
right?
one and then we did yeah, the Greek cosmology was the last one from
Yeah,
the cosmology series. So that's there in itself is so much of material there to ponder. And then after the Greeks, we did the aliens and ETs on flat Earth. This was one deep one. I love this one. This one was like how this was the whole idea where we shared and I spoke about my whole experience about the extraterrestrials and how I was into before flat earth into extraterrestrial stuff and how I after I converted to flat earthers how I start seeing it in a different way and the experience and the whole Avatar and Star Trek and Star Wars stuff, right? So as I mentioned, I was the first one who was saying this even before these people they took in some documentary and start saying on extra lands and all this stuff. But I was the one who was saying about the Star Treks and Star War and Avatar and all this stuff is how they have taken from the cosmologies and made the movies out of it and put it into the space because it all comes from the Vedic cosmology and scriptures in exactly the same. That was a great podcast. It's called Aliens and ETs on Flat Earth. And then after that, we had the sacred geometry on flat
uh,
ground. Wow, how much we love the sacred geometry, all of us, right? So,
Fibonacci.
exactly. The flower of life, the seed of life, and how the luminaries work, and how all the nature have the stamp of the divine, of the sacred
That's right.
geometry. Yeah, amazing
The
podcast.
the autograph of the designer is just everywhere. It's in water, plants, your hair.
Oh yeah, body, right? The minerals, the trees, the fruits, the flowers, everything, right?
The leaves, that way everything unfurls. It's so
The
cool,
animals.
right? Reproduction, the embryo, the way it grows. Our, the ratio of our
The
fingers to our
golden.
hands, all the ratios
Yeah.
in our body are, it's all wonderful design, guys. The
Oh yeah, that
human
was also deep.
machine. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. These 4, 5, the next ones were amazing too. The aliens, then the sacred geometry, and then the next one was energy, frequency, and vibration.
Yeah, that's good because every one of them touches on energy, frequency, and vibration. So now we consolidated in that one. That was a really good one. everything is all of it. You know, for everything is like matter is low vibration light, right? And the higher you vibrate, the more light is in you, the more light comes out of you.
Exactly. The lower the vibration, the denser we become. The higher the vibration, the lighter.
Right.
Yeah, that was great one too. Energy, frequency, and vibration from an aspect of a flat Earth, right? Geocentric. And after that, we did the pineal gland. Nice one. The pineal gland is,
It's uh, the most targeted part of the human body is probably the pineal gland. Besides all the other physical aspects of us that are being targeted for destruction, pineal gland is on the top of that list. 'Cause that's the part of us that will enable us to connect to the other worlds that are right here. See, right here between me and the camera is the same. It's the same fabric, the same material that's in between you and your camera. And our thoughts are right here. My thoughts are there. Your thoughts are here. It's a matter of how we can tap into them. And that's the fabric that does connect us all. So God is the air, really. Everything is. All of it is. That's pretty cool. I like to think like that. You know, it gets you in touch with the trees and the animals and other people as well. It's for a common goal of peace and harmony. Why is that so bad? Why is people so, you know, accustomed to not think like that?
oh yeah, the pineal gland is really important in all this, right? Whatever
Yeah,
way you find to activate that, choose your own way, but it's part of the awakening and it's part
yeah,
of
you
the
know,
truth.
part of why that might be so hard is because the school system and the TV and movies, all that stuff, it all like washes that connection inside of us out. We look for all these answers externally. Meanwhile, we know we all make our own decisions. We look at things outside. You have two eyes to look and one eye to see. And that's you look, you know, you take that information in and you filter it out through that invisible eye that's inside your head. That's why you gotta have that conversation nice inside your head, right, bro? To help you understand what you look at, the discernment and the clarity. Those are two things I like to pray for. To be able to sort out the nonsense and explain it clearly.
Oh yeah.
I'll always be working on that, man.
So yeah, we did sacred geometry, energy, frequency, and vibration. Then we did the pineal gland, right? Nice. You see how we did, all the ancient cosmology, and then frequency, vibration, and energy, pineal gland. We are going slowly, right, and
there's a
steadily. Uh,
there's a theme building here, man. When you look back, it's like, oh, wait a second, it's all like rolled out in a nice order, right?
exactly. So it's more digestible, right? It doesn't get stuck, you know. It's
Oh,
more.
that's good, bro. That's right. That's good, man.
Oh yeah, because if we see the beauty of it, it's all connected to flat Earth. It's all related to flat Earth and geocentricity and this realm and the intelligent design and our existence and the spirit and the matter and everything, right? How
100%.
well how well we could all put it together and in that order, right? And because it was in a way growing, right? It was supposed to take that way, makes it way, right, to that. It's just steering us to the truth. Right.
That's a good way to put it too, so it's more digestible. I like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because yeah, because people can get overwhelmed with some kind of talks and information or discussions, right, so yeah, it should yeah, now that we see it back, yeah, amazing way that it was formed, right? And it's and then
100%.
after that we had, after the pineal gland we had the astrology, right? Wow, what a coincidence, right? Astrology on flat ram. And then we had sounds on flat ram. That
Sounds.
was amazing too, right? Sound in the
Uh,
beginning was the word, right?
yeah. Even uh, mainstream science has the Big Bang. A bang is a sound too. So they kind of, they throw the twist in on everything.
Exactly.
But I still question sound because, like I just said, the space between me and my phone. I know the sound is there, but it don't mean anything to me. So it's not the sound that's there. The vibration is there. It doesn't turn into sound until it gets to the instrument
Until
in
it
my ear,
vibrates. Exactly.
right? So it makes me wonder, bro, is sound even real? It's just vibration until something can pick it up and turn it into sound.
Is it possible to see sound? Oh yeah.
See? You can people can hear colors and stuff like these are different
And
senses
seeing
that
sound. Exactly. And seeing sound. It's possible to see sound.
yeah. Well, you can see like the evidence of sound when you do the kymatics on a steel plate with music or the bowstring.
Exactly.
You can see it that
Ex-
way. But bro, people can see that without the instruments, right?
exactly. That is what is seeing sound, but in colors. So imagine once you are on those frequencies and on that level, seeing those sounds, you will see those sounds. You will see with the, as you say, like two eyes to look and one eyes to see. So when you see sound and you see it exactly. And the schematics and all the glass windows on the cathedral, they are just the most basic. They are beautiful, right? The schematics. You imagine multiplying that 1,000 times with colors and never ending. That's is what seeing
Colors,
sound is.
colors that we couldn't even picture.
Exactly. Sacred geometry, right?
Yeah,
In
bro.
colors, in moving life. That's the real fabric of the universe.
But but my theory behind all that is I think that the world is really silent. I don't think there's noise here. It's just the instruments that pick it up as noise. Our brain turns it into the audible sound that we think we hear. But right, am I wrong on that? Am I just like so far off? I don't know. I don't think there's any sound. There's just vibration. And then you know what? you could take that a step further and bring it to the vision. This is all vibration, so it gets hard to explain after that because it's like,
I
well,
think
look and
it's a sense, it's another sense to exist in this three dimension, right? We have the sound, we have the touch, the eye, smell, taste, right? Everything is for us to decode our environment, right?
navigate and live and
Exactly.
experience
So
and grow.
so
Yeah.
so sound could be used as a tool uh, to reach those frequencies that you don't need it as a physical sound to communicate beyond, not the normal communication.
Oh, definitely, bro. Definitely. There's definitely, absolutely communications that go on, like between animals and people and plants and people. You know,
And
I
there's no
gotta,
sound involved. Exactly.
exactly.
And so, because same way the sound is helping you to visualize and see something, and once you start seeing things, so you don't need that sound, because for example, as you said about the tree or the animal, you will see that vibration coming to you without any auditory. You will see that energy or that transfer or
Crazy stuff, bro. And it's totally real. I've explained quite a few, for instances I ran into in my life through the years. Some more recent, some more maybe more interesting, but there's way more to animal and plant life than we've ever been taught. That ever then that they don't teach us nothing about that world. You know, I mean, I don't know how recent it is, but they tell us that, oh, a cat's purr is like, I think, 20 to 150 hertz, and that's a healing frequency. I don't know how old that information is, how long they've been telling us that for. Um, but that is true, and you can do that on yourself. We could hum and heal ourselves, guys. It's something, a vibration. They would probably never teach us anything like that, but it works. If you tried it and you were in the right mindset with the right spirits, connecting with your inner self, and had focus and reason and some dedicated time, doctors don't do nothing. They put a cast on while the bone heals itself. They put stitches in while the skin heals itself. These are all band-aid kind of things. Some of them are really necessary. I'm not saying it's all like garbage, but that's the science that does help us, and that's where it mixes in with the pharmaceuticals where it doesn't help us. So they're heroes here, and they're the devil right there in the same place, though. That's part of the confusion because, like, wow, they help us in hospitals to a degree. Long term is not good. You don't want to be around those people long term. If you get hurt, get in and out. You'll heal yourself.
exactly, brother. And speaking about the sound, even the water, falling water is very harmonic. The sound of river, the sound of ocean, the wind, the sound of raindrops, nature. Yeah, even the most basic sound is so healing, right? So there is so much other sound, and sound is like it's. I think it's one of the most best ways to keep our body uh, aligned, right?
Mm.
I think instead of even taking anything, the most important, like I think the sound can help you clean up that energy or aura, right? Because the energy needs to move. We cannot just accumulate and don't let it move, or have too much and it's have a leak of energy, right? escape,
Mm,
right? So this is what it does. Those sound helps rebuild and get our energy clearing our energy, right? The same way fire and water can clean us physically, even sound can do it physically, like to internal body and the aura, right? Our energy bodies, right? So yeah, as we spoke about the singing bowl, or even whistling, humming,
yeah,
so sound is magical. Sound is,
yeah.
wow.
And here's something else, also, guys. They say crazy people talk to themselves, but that's how I pray. I'm talking to God or my spirits. You kind of mumble to yourself in a low voice, and like maybe the monks do that. You might have seen some of that in religion. I don't know if religion has much to do exactly with all of that stuff that I'm trying to talk about, but it's portrayed in weird ways. They show you little things, and then not all of it, though. But I think that's part of the narrative, and part of the twist is that you know just because you talk to yourself, that does not mean you're crazy. And I think that's probably one of the healthiest things we could do is get it out. You can hear it. What do you hear? It's just the vibration. The vibration is right. So you hear yourself, and you're communicating in a very low voice. And it just means a little more instead of just thinking it. It's different when you externalize it, and you could do that anywhere. You don't have to be in any special building with certain people at a certain time to do that. So, and I take an idea like that, and it's like every thought that comes through my head comes from God or spirits that are helping me, as well as the ones that want to see me fail. So that's where that, you know, you're listening for like one voice above, through all of the chitter chatter that's going on. And, like when Laura came on a few weeks back, she showed the lightning bolt and how that represents a lot of different things. But right away for me, it was that instinctual flash of a thought that doesn't last, and it's not a long thought, and it's just a flash of an instinct that comes to you from the other side, like like a premonition. It's just like a and if you don't see that flash and recognize it, you might have missed that one. But they're more of them are always they're always trying to talk to us. Spirits are always trying to talk to us. The clowns want us to fail, and the good ones want to see us do good. They're cheering us on all the time. They're trying to put little things in front of us that we recognize, like the divine timing of the gears and the mechanism that's going on around us. Yeah, guys, it's hard to even explain stuff like that. The divine timing behind everything going on. Boom, boom. The perfection is just it's like wow. If Gene had to leave, we got to collect his mind over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, brother. And then this with the sound, right after the sound we did, is our realm a simulation?
That's a
Is our
popular.
realm yeah.
That's gaining a lot of popularity. That idea.
Oh yeah, we are open for everything, right? But I don't think that some people don't like the word simulation, right? As I said, illusion maybe sounds better, but it's the same thing, and even if it's a simulation or illusion, it's created. All right, people say, oh, you think the earth is a simulation, there's no god, there's no this, right? Yeah, why not? Right, why not? It's a god if it's a simulation.
Really. Listen,
Why
to,
not?
to, to me, you can't do nothing without a creator here. None of this is just by chance or aliens or no, something super highly intelligent. We got this list of elements that we're working with here, and there's elements right here that there's so much more. You know, in another world, like we're in the dish here, man. Who knows what's 2,600 miles out, or even 100 miles out past that wall that we don't know about. We just really don't know. And I'm tantalized by the ideas of more fantastic things that are here, because I've seen fantastic things here, and I know there's more. Nobody's ever going to convince me that there's not. You can't. I've seen things. I know things, and not easy to explain. Sometimes it's not even the right time. But there's way more behind the scenery, you guys. And some people like to be in charge. They wanna have it all for themselves. I don't understand that. And I think most people don't really understand that. And that's how the people who want stuff like that got away with it. 'Cause most people are not really, greedy and self-centered, and you know.
Oh yeah, and this is the thing. In the simulations podcast, we discussed about how these simulations could be, these other pawns could be a simulation too, and that's why those other people cannot come to us or we cannot go to them, right? Maybe there's some kind of a barrier, right? And these are like different simulation run by different creator gods, right? We don't think that in the other pawn they might have the same gods or the same prophets, right? So yeah, it's an interesting way of seeing it. We're not saying it is like that, but makes a lot of sense too, because if we see at a core level what is really matter, right? Matter, matrix, simulation, matter, mother, right? So
Yeah.
at a core level, are we really material? Are we, right? So if everything is like that, we also spoke about people seeing these codes, right, in the experiences. And we also speak about visions, right? What are visions? All these known prophets and people, what they had visions, right? So that is what is having visions. It's like because you are seeing through that simulation, that's why you're having those visions, right? Could be also, right? Saying it's like that, but
It's like dreaming while you're wide awake.
oh yeah, it's more real than a dream.
Mm.
Why is this life called a simulation or illusion? Because once you see the flip side, you know that this is a dream, this is an illusion, because there you find your real self, there you see your real self, there you sense your real essence of what you are, that part of the divine or the fractal, right? And once you see that, once you union with the divine, you know that this is an illusion, because this makes you feel mortal, this makes you feel limited, which we are not, right?
No, it's true, and I still have a hard time absorbing this world. Had little hints of things when I was a little kid, Little kids are closer to spirit world, and then the commercials and TV wash all that school, wash all that stuff away from us, and we don't. I didn't, we kind of not lost connection, but um, the clarity gets taken away of how to listen to yourself and how to communicate with yourself inside, with God inside you, and then this stuff's taught, not the way it should be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This
Hey,
this
good night. No longer on
yeah.
the ball. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Hey yeah, brother. Thanks, brother, for passing by. Yeah. Next time we have the open mic, for sure, jump on when we'll do it StreamYard, brother. And then yeah, these are some amazing topics. Right after the cosmologies, they made total sense after that. And then we had, were rocks alive? That was with Dan, right?
Yeah, Dan and Jen Sphinx, a
Yeah.
great couple from Ohio. Dan Sphinx found this weird sculpture in the woods in Ohio, and it looks like some sort of a Sphinx character. Big kind of guy carved in a rock out there, and it looks old and it's like in the middle of nowhere. Very strange. Yeah, but Ohio is a weird place from what I understand. There's a lot of things going on in Ohio, a lot of mounds and the caves and like just strange place. A lot of weirdness going on in the United States.
Oh yeah, he shared some amazing stuff on the chat, which was a great chat also.
Yeah,
Shout out to them too.
yeah, definitely.
And then we did Mount Meru, the North Pole, right? Mount Meru. Oh, that was great. I love the North Pole and
Yeah,
Mount Meru.
yeah, I know that's one of your favorites. The different ways it's explained through the centuries, the different cultures.
And all the names we digged in all the possible names from different cultures.
Uh,
Yeah, people should check that out. Mount Meru podcast. And then we had the submersible hoax.
oh man, that was when they went to go look for the Titanic, and they lost those people down there, and all the weirdness behind that. But every single one of those people had a weird story. You
Yeah,
know, and guys, how are they going to lose something like that with human beings on it 2 miles down when they can track a shark for 5 years within 20 feet of it?
exactly. And this was one of the podcasts we just did because, right, because of what the people are making so much hype
Yeah,
about.
that was like a current events one. We did a couple of those. Did a couple of current events ones. We skipped out on what was scheduled and put it off a week.
Exactly. Then we did the fake fossil fuels. Then we did why some flat earthers hate AE map.
Hey, map.
And then we did, exactly. And then we also did artificial intelligence. And then we did the 2,500-year-old clay map from the Sumerian tablet.
Yeah,
Right, another awesome podcast. If you want to know about that tablet, and which is a stamp one of the oldest map stamped on a clay. Watch that podcast called 2500 Years Old FE Clay Map. And then right after that, we did a page launch about Vikal Rajiv upcoming documentary.
Wow. Bro.
And yeah, and from there started our journey of the mechanical realm. We released the trailer, then we released the main trailer, then we did Is Everything a Mechanism? And then we did the first impressions, and then we did the two home runs, Flatten the Curve and the Mechanical Realm podcast. Then we did the making of the Mechanical Realm podcast. Then we did the calendars and cycles. We did the ancient hidden technologies about the mechanical realm. That's your favorite one, right?
Which one?
Ancient hidden technologies after the release
Uh, bro.
of the
Ancient,
mechanical realm.
ancient hidden technologies. You don't know what these people have as they trickle little things out. Man, I heard that they got, I don't even know how to explain this. They got some sort of light system of holograms that can pick stuff up. So they're able to vibrate light in ways that they can pick up physical objects. And that's just what they're hinting at, like here's one, it was probably 3 years ago or so. I started hearing about, you know, the archways all over the world being magnets, and how bricks in brick buildings used to harness energy, and the energy was stored in the bricks. And I was like, oh no, guys, you're really making us look bad. This is not even funny. And then so I started looking into it, and I'm like, oh, Caltech, MIT, a couple other places, they've been working on how to put electricity in cement for 10 years already or more. And I'm like, oh my God, it's real. They're trying to reverse engineer something here. I was like, oh, wow. So, yeah, ancient hidden technologies, bro, they're going to have things like, we can record our phone. I think they probably have recordings in our eyes that record everything we're looking at with the thoughts we're thinking while we're looking at it. That's what I bet you they have. And probably way more than that, even.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That rabbit hole opened right after the mechanical realm, right? That's why.
Bro, to think, I could think about it. Where are we going to be? You've seen the last 10 years in the advancements. I don't know. Has there really been advancements? Actually, thinking about it, I guess these mobile phones are the biggest advancement, really. They haven't done shit lately. What do they do? Just send crap up into the sky and try and blow the sky up? That's about it. No, I'm thinking a little further out. No, but you know what? Uh, that's where I got my saying from, bro. They want us to think we're going to be the Jetsons any day now while we're turning into the Flintstones because of these guys. See the trickery there? They haven't come up with nothing new in how long? What, a gadget for the kitchen, maybe? You know? Washing machines that don't have a big thing in the middle? Now it's a big empty drum? I don't know. What happened to the stove tops with the electric induction where you can cook on top of a newspaper with these? What happened to those things? Were they far too dangerous for the kitchens? You know, we're going backwards. They're slowly washed. They washed all the good shit out already. They're giving us these garbage electric cars, and the cars are so heavy the tires can't even handle. The rubber's wearing out fast. It's just big, a big clown show, guys. But I do. I love that subject, man. Because I'm a tool guy. I like tools.
Oh yeah, technology. All right. And you know that apart from the podcast, we spoke about a lot about this topic, right? Where it could all go.
Yeah, it comes up a lot.
And then after that, we had the Holy Grail of Flat Earth, the mechanical ram, which speaks about the Antikythera mechanism. And right after that, we had the post pastor debate podcast. That was also a nice one.
That was good. That was early January. Oh, you know what? We
Exactly.
skipped that on. I'm gonna back up for a second, bro. Um, First Impressions was the third show I missed with David Weiss.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, what?
Oh yeah, that is one of the podcasts that have the most views. It has almost 2,500 views. That podcast here, at least.
Nice. Yeah, I was at a
Yeah,
funeral in Brooklyn.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And you know what? I thought there was going to be no show that night. I think that we might have had a weekend off, or I'm not sure if I'm remembering that right. Nah, we wouldn't. You wouldn't have taken a weekend off in the middle of that so early. I'm off on that one.
Yeah, we were right after the. That was right after the release.
Yeah, yeah, it was really close after that.
Exactly. And then after the pastor debate was yeah, Earth like a clay under a seal. That was also very nice, where we go into the Bible and try to explain exactly those verses. Amazing one. And right after that, we had the meeting the seraphim. I don't even want to say anything about that podcast. All right, you all know. And then we had the Mazaroth. Then we had the Emerald Tablet, Lost
That was
Technologies.
that was
Billy
good with
Carson is a sellout.
Billy
Then we
Carson.
had exactly, and then we had the unconventional propulsion system with Seven Club, Cody from TikTok,
Yeah, and
nice one too, and
Gene Techman.
Gene Techman, yeah, Seven Club and
Yeah,
Gene Techman both can be. They both are from TikTok,
yeah.
and then
Two.
we had Why the Lie, yeah.
No, this is a good show with Gene and Seven Club. That was interesting.
Oh yeah, that was a great one too.
Uh,
And then there was Why the Lie with Laura Nina. That was also a good one. And then we had the High Vibration podcast with Mike
yeah, Mike and
from the
Matt and
TH.
Dalu.
Exactly. That was a great chat too.
That was
And
fun.
then we had the review debate, Mactoon versus Vika, where we went on for 5 hours reviewing the debate. And then we have had Rob from Disorganized Productions the week
Great dude.
before.
He's a great guy, man.
Exactly. Oh yeah, absolutely. And then we had Flat Earth Sub Genius Daniel, who was last Sunday with us. And if we count in today's podcast, I was just going through all of them. In these 2 years, we did with this podcast included 200, 100 podcasts.
Really, we're at 100.
this one is 100 one, and it's supposed to be the second anniversary. 200 100 podcasts. You
Wow.
know, so there's so much of material, guys, there to go through, right? 100 podcasts. What have we not discussed? It's not like the podcasts are 10 minutes, right? The minimum would be an hour something, and some goes two, three, some and many I didn't even mention, but I'm just counting, right? So when I counted, it goes to 100, right? So maybe I didn't mention some of the names because of the titles and everything, but yeah, yeah, man, 100 is a good number, brother. Three
That's
digits,
awesome.
right?
Yeah, man.
100 is
What
we're reach quite far.
what fun, bro. What fun, man.
So,
Unbelievable. I can't believe it's been 2 years, bro. I'm just kind of going through the memory. It's like, wow.
oh yeah, we just skipped right to bad because if no, we're gonna be here for 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
So some we just mentioned the name and we just skip through and pass through. We won't go in a bit of detail about everything. We tried to go through, right? But yeah, awesome people, awesome topic. A lot to see and go through. As I said, any one of them you can watch it, and there's always so much to see and learn and understand. So for sure, yeah, we're gonna continue. We're gonna get in more topics and more and dig in more deeper because all these 100 podcasts, it help us to come to a level, right, of understanding things, right, of so we can go beyond it, right? So yeah, so much of material of for flat of understanding because if anybody sees those 100 podcasts. Oh yeah. So yeah, that was great, Gene. Yeah, whoever Keith, Evelyn, whoever was before, all the guests who passed by, all the people who always join us. So
Yeah.
we all maybe understand some things better, right? At least some things, right? So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Gene,
Little
brother.
by little. Little by little,
Exactly.
bro. We chip away.
Oh yeah, because yeah, we might be wrapping up, guys, because it's few hours. It's more than 3 hours, right? Yeah, it's almost 3 hours. Yeah,
I can't tell.
yeah, it's three
Damn.
hour 4 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like that. A great show, brother. Yo, man, I love you, bro. Thank you so much for bringing me on and keeping me here and helping me understand this crazy world that we live in, brother. You know, I love how you explain things. Thank you for, putting these shows together, Vika. I couldn't do it, man. If it was up to me, man, there would be no show, bro. It wouldn't be like this, man. And I like to make sure you understand that I'm really grateful and thankful. And bro, it's a freaking great ride, bro. It all came up by surprise. And when we first started, there was a decision for me to make. Do I come hang out here with Vika, or do I stay here with these guys on these pages? Because those pages were blowing up, man. You know, 800 people a week. They were like growing so crazy, and I'm like, oh, but I'm a mod here. And it was like, well, so things went over, and so what I do, and what I did, and what I do in life that I've always kind of done is, if I'm confused on a decision, I got to go internally, and I say to myself, I let my Scorpio take over, my instinct, and it's cool because I even did that before I knew Scorpios were had instinct. They were known for certain traits, instinctual qualities, or something. I do. I have them. Can't deny them, and I would never try. It's the universe talks to me like that, and so that's what I did. I'm like, what do I do? I go here, I do this, and I said I got to let my Scorpio take over and give me the right decision. And I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going with Vika, and it was, I never looked back, bro, not for a second. I never regretted nothing, and I'm proud to be here with you and all our friends in the chat, man. A lot of really cool people hanging out with us. All the new things we're doing, bro, is freaking phenomenal, man. It's new doors opening up, hanging out with great people. I went to the thing in Tennessee, made the mechanical realm, presented it there. All of this stuff is still like processing with me, you know? And bro, I could still go back and listen to any one of them podcasts and still learn more, bro. Stuff I forgot, stuff that I said I forgot. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, I said that. Oh my god, what the fuck else did I forget in my life? You know what I mean? Like, wow. So, nah, man, bro, it's been a great ride, brother, and and it's a pleasure to be here with you, man. One day we're gonna do a podcast together in the same room, bro.
Oh
That's that's
yeah, oh yeah.
that's my projection, brother. Whether it's we get you here for 2 days, man, or I get me there somehow, somewhere, we're gonna figure something out, bro. That's what I like to put out there, brother. You
Oh
know,
yeah, brother. It was a journey, and we are still learning. We're still growing. For sure, we learned a lot. We put out a lot. Our thoughts, our feelings, emotion, everything is there, right?
yeah,
And as you say, things grow from where it started. We had to make the way, and at least we are finding some way, right? Of being a bit on the right path, right? And yeah, brother, thanks for being here these 2 years. It's not easy. We know we all have life and things to do, and many things, right? Other than this, and so to keep with the rhythm and right, because people, there were other panelists who came and go and guests, and but you were always there to keep the show going, right? So yeah, thanks for that, brother, and I also thanks everybody who was there to make this podcast more light, more good vibration and energy, because that's why these kind of topics were coming, right? And yeah, brother, with all the different people we had on the podcast, that we resonate with the things what we discuss, right? And that's important, right? We cannot just speak with somebody who doesn't resonate on that level, right? And all uh our people who see our things also resonate in that sense, right? That's why they are there with us
oh yeah,
in these 2 years, right? And yeah, we send out a lot of truth through this podcast and through the documentaries, right? So yeah, brother, heliopsychosis and the mechanical realm. So you're hitting it, brother. You're hitting it hard. So that's great. And yeah, 2 years, a lot of material there. The cosmology series is one of the best, and many other things following that. So yeah, go and dig in, put it on audio, and do your things and listen to it. For sure, every podcast is going to bring you something, because we put a lot of effort in every podcast that we put out many different things, so the podcast is much more like people get something out of it. We are not just hanging out, right? Like many
yeah,
other hangouts, is there normally, in podcasting.
Mm,
So that's what we could say. And thank you for hanging on with us. And yeah, we'll try to continue the journey, and we're gonna open up more doors and more rabbit holes, right, for the next stages.
oh, yeah.
So that's what it is for today, guys. 3 hours is more than 3 hours. Yeah, this is what we didn't was supposed to have this. We just made up our mind on Sunday, and we are doing this. You know, yep. I would have loved to continue, but yeah, 3 hours is good enough for today.
Great
Yeah,
stuff. Excellent, man.
Gene, brother, Keith, and everybody who has been here, and everyone who's gonna be. Yes, stay tuned because we're gonna have continue this streak, right? And we're gonna have some more amazing guests and more amazing conversations, right? So
Yeah,
thank
guys, we
you.
got some really good ones lined up, guys. That's for sure. Watch.
Oh yeah, with all the amazing people we had, and all the amazing people we're gonna have, right? And all the amazing topic and conversation and discussion and debate and uh like so. Thank you, Gene, brother. You rock, and everybody else in the chat, and everybody was and is the part of the panel or gonna come. Thank you so much. Love you all, and yes, make sure you guys check us out on the next Sunday that we're gonna be having Raul and Alex Paul from the Firmamental podcast. Amazing people, amazing podcast. They are all over the podcast sites and pages that podcasts are there. You can find them, the Firmamental podcast, and they're gonna be here next week with us on Sunday. So yeah, thank you. 2 years of heliopsychosis, and I think if we continue with this podcast, maybe there's a chance that we can make people away from this sickness called heliopsychosis, because this is what it is for the most of the people. That's why we are trying to show that uh, why the people should get better than the heliopsychosis that they have, right? So thank you. Just closing it off.
Yeah.
This is because Rajiv signing out, guys. See you
Thanks, guys.
soon
Good night,
on
everybody.
Sunday. All right. Good night.